Alright, so we got into this dungeon. It's a dungeon that we've already done, but it is still a dungeon, so I decided to accept it. Keep forgetting to summon my minions. We're gonna be good for this dungeon though, because this dungeon has a lot of mobs in it, and we are huge on AoE, so we're gonna be doing really well. And I don't know where the tank is. We have a blood DK tank, which isn't bad at all, by the way. I personally love blood DK, but I haven't played it at all in Legion, so I'm not really used to playing it, honestly. Yeah, the sucky part is that we've already completed all the quests in this area, so we won't be able to complete them anymore. And it was weird because when I had my XP stopped and we were completing those other dungeons, where I was just trying to farm gold, it was always in those dungeons where I didn't have the quest completed, and so but I didn't do the quest because I didn't want to waste the experience if I did like do a dungeon and want to get the experience from it. So I was like, whatever. And now I didn't get the dungeon, which I was really hoping for. I don't remember which dungeon it is. It's not Hellfire Ramparts. I think it's the Blood Furnace. Yeah, it was the Blood Furnace. I kept getting into the Blood Furnace, and I didn't complete the quest there, but I really wanted to record one of the videos there, but I guess that's not it. We might try to do a dungeon. I think I'll try to do a dungeon like every 2 videos of questing I do. So like, I'll do questing for 2 videos, see how far I get, and then turn in all the quests I got from those 2 questing videos, and then the next video will be a dungeon video. And depending on what dungeon we're doing, the dungeon videos may be longer or they may be shorter. Again, depending on the dungeon and depending on the group. And hopefully we don't get like bad groups where people leave and stuff. And hopefully this freaking blood DK doesn't die, because he is really close. Our healer is way back there. For some reason. I'm gonna... This mage is just gonna keep going ham with these guys. Hopefully this guy realizes that if he has enough of this runic power, he can start doing his blood strikes. But my minions don't have a tank ability, so I can put them in defensive stance, but that doesn't really do anything except like change the way they behave. It doesn't really change their abilities. And this shaman is... Are there 2 of them that are inactive, or is it just the one? Hopefully it's just the one. Yes, I don't care. If he's AFK, I'd rather not. Like I said, our damage is pretty good, so we shouldn't have too much of a problem trying to do and I have my self-heal, so I'm getting disarmed a lot, though. Can't really heal without my weapon. I was trying to solo this dungeon on my warrior, and I was actually getting frustrated because I would pull like a small group of enemies, but I would be constantly disarmed, so I would be constantly like not being able to use abilities that I actually needed to be able to use in order to like do the dungeon. This guy might have just switched to healing. Might have. So yeah, it really sucked, and I kept dying from it, so I couldn't solo this one, but I did solo Blood Furnace. That one I soloed. That one was easy. All I had to do was like build up my focus rate and then let loose on whatever boss I was going on, and then just constantly stomp and do all that fun jazz to get group mobs destroyed. Now I usually save my in a scenario like this where we don't have a healer. I usually save all my runic power from my self heal. Because if I try to use my self-heal, then I'm just gonna get fucked either. Or if I try to use my other ability, sorry, not my self-heal. Hopefully this tank doesn't die, because then if he dies, I'm probably gonna be the first to take the aggro. Looks like he's probably not gonna die. Yeah, there we go. It's pretty nice. Alright. One thing I was always confused about, and that's not a bad looking sword. One thing I was always confused about was why shamans were able to wear plate. And also, one thing I also worried about is, or not worried about, wondered, because shaman, or like humans can't, if you know the game, humans can't play druids, so how come a worgen can play a druid? Like, what gave the worgens the ability to play druid? Now, obviously, at the end of the worgen storyline, they found peace within themselves, and that's pretty much how they were able to change from one form to another, because they drank from the 3 different pools and became like, you know, I don't really know how to explain it too much, but they became, like, holy in a way. They became, like, not monsters, because they're able to control themselves now versus running rampant, like fucking normal werewolves do. I don't know why we're not just, like, running past all this. I understand that healer died, or tank died. I don't think we have to wait. So yeah, Death Knight is fun. They don't have a lot of survivability. Death Strike is a lot like Victory Rush, and a lot of people complain that it's like, oh, I've heard complaints from like warriors. They're like, oh my gosh, like, the Death Knight just basically has a Victory Rush, and to be honest, like, the soldier needs it, I agree, or the warrior needs it, I agree, but so does the fucking Death Knight, because the Death Knight, without it, would have, like, no survivability. And obviously it's called differently, and also Victory Rush you really can't use unless you kill somebody. In this one you can use whether you kill somebody or not, but again, they need it. It's kind of something that it's basically the thing that keeps them alive, other than whatever rune they put on their weapon, but only certain runes can be put on certain types of weapons, so it's kind of an iffy situation. I mean, I agree, it is pretty much Victory Rush without a few of them. But I do like it. It is a lot easier than... It's a lot easier knowing the fact that I don't actually have to kill the person. I don't actually have to kill the person to be able to heal. And it makes sense that it's literally for everyone and not just... or for every spec and not just for like tanking, because every spec needs it in order to live. Did that guy get resurrected, or did he just decide that walking around was... I don't know what this guy's doing, running in place. That's weird. Tank isn't very good, but I'm not gonna complain too much because neither was I when I was tanking as bear. I loved it. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely loved it, but I wasn't that good at it either. So I'm not really good at tanking now either because at max level there's a huge difference between like normal tanking between like I would say level 1 and 90. Well, level 1 and 90 tanking is a lot different than 90 to 110 tanking because the mechanics are so much different, and pretty much every boss has a different and unique mechanic that either one-shots you or does a lot of damage, or just does something that pretty much pisses you off and you have to reset because of it. It's no fun. But it's no fun when you're trying to like learn how to play tank and you don't, and that kind of stuff happens, or you get a group that like completely hates the fact that you're trying to learn how to tank, and so they just completely leave you every time. That's annoying, but that's what happens. That's only happened to me a couple times, so you don't really have to worry, because as long as people know that you're learning, and people usually don't complain about it. And usually when they do, it's because they're already salty about something. We are really close to almost 200 gold. Look at that. Super close. We're gonna get there soon, guys. Soon. And we only need 25, I guess 26 technically. We only need like 26 more gold in order to get our flying. And that should be pretty quick too. It shouldn't take long at all. And obviously, for those who don't know, gold becomes a lot easier to access the higher level you are. But there are things on the auction house that do cost a lot of gold. For instance, mounts. Mounts cost a lot of gold. Not even trying to buy mounts costs a lot of gold. And then trying to farm mounts costs a lot of time. And so, yeah. Actually, the mount I was trying to farm a while ago was a Nixia. And then I kind of got bored of doing that raid because it is kind of boring. It's literally one boss. So I decided to try and farm armor sets from Firelands instead, which is, in my opinion, a lot cooler than trying to get honestly a lot cooler than trying to get an Nixia mount. I really, when I play this game, I really do think about like what will make my character look the absolute most badass he could possibly be.
You have faced many challenges. Pity they were all in vain. Soon your people will kneel to
I did get this polearm. I did get it from this guy. It actually is a pretty decent looking polearm. I was using it on my druid, and it's just on a Tauren. It is humongous. Humongous. It is giant on a Tauren. Not just a Tauren druid, but I can see, I can tell that people really like this weapon because I've seen people use it. I've seen people use it on like their warriors, and just like on their Fury warriors, especially for Taurens. Like, that weapon is just, like, aesthetically, it's fucking awesome. I think I can show it to you real quick. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Weapons. That's not a bad looking two-handed axe, actually. That looks kind of cool. I didn't even realize I had that axe. Where is it? It's in pole arms. See, it's this right here. That looks pretty sick. I'd honestly, if I was going to use this on a Death Knight, I'd probably only use it if it was a Blood Death Knight. And if I was going to use a polearm on the Death Knight, I'd probably use this for Unholy. But these things are pretty cool too. These I usually use for Druids. I have no idea where I got this one, but I love this one, this purple one. But these weapons are pretty cool. These are the weapons you get from like Icecrown Citadel. I don't know how long this video is going to be, but I'm just going to kind of show off some weapons, just in case that I've unlocked, just in case the video is pretty short. This is also another popular weapon for people who are Fury Warriors. It is pretty cool. This is probably one of the most recent popular ones. This Black Hand, because it's just an amazing looking fucking mace in general. And oh my god, like I can't believe my dad got this. It was great. This one's pretty cool. This one's an old one. This one's Cataclysm. I would only use it on like a paladin though. I wouldn't really use it on a Death Knight or a warrior, at that matter. We got our two-handed swords. I love the Death Knight swords. The Death Knight swords are awesome. This sword's pretty cool. I don't really like a lot of these other swords except for this one. This one is also another really popular one for Fury Warriors. I do like these swords. These swords you also get from Icecrown Citadel. I have no idea where you get this, but it looks pretty sick. This is also a pretty cool looking one. I think you get this one from Pandaria or Cataclysm. No, yeah, I think that's Pandaria. Oh, and then this beast. This one was just great. Oh, this is a really popular one as well for Fury Warriors, especially who are Tauren. But this one used to be my favorite because it worked pretty much for any Death Knight spec except for Frost. Two-handed axes. I don't really like any of the two-handed axes except for this one, which is the one I currently have. This one doesn't look bad. I do kind of like some of the PvP ones. This one looks pretty cool. I like these very sharp. I like the sharp ones a lot. I know that there's a dungeon where like all the ogres have these one equipped, but these are like the ones that these big axes are the ones that like the demons use. Oh, and I really like that red one. I don't know if you can actually see the red, but not a lot of the other axes interest me. This one, again, would be awesome if Frost didn't require two one-handeds. This one used to be my favorite paladin one, like, because it looked like it was like a holy axe, and it's just brutal. This one's pretty cool too. But this one, and this one are probably my favorite. I wanted to try and get these ones, but these ones are from Draenor dungeons. I don't really feel like trying to farm these. This is probably, honestly, I'm sorry if anybody likes these weapons, but these are honestly the most horrendous weapons in the game right now. These fucking meat cleavers. If they were one-handed weapons and they were this big, that would be awesome. And I could see them being cool on like a Fury Warrior, but anyone else, just horrendous. They look horrendous. This one was also one I was trying to farm, this like guitar axe. What other one? I wanted this one a lot too, at one point. Oh, and this one. I wanted that one too, because if you don't know, this one actually is used by one of the bosses in the Icecrown Citadel. This one's pretty cool. I'm trying to think of some of the other ones. I don't really like a lot of these ones. This is just a double-sided version of the ones we saw earlier. This one's really cool. This one's like the complete opposite of the other one, where the other one was like a paladin weapon. This one's more like a Death Knight weapon, in my opinion. Obviously, this one's cool. I don't remember where you get that one, though. Yeah, I honestly think that, other than the Shards of Frostmourne, the Death Knights kind of got screwed in artifact weapons. But that's just my opinion. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. That dungeon was pretty fun. If this video is longer than 20 minutes, I'm sorry. I kind of wanted to show off what I had in the collection section. And if I could, I'd show you my shields and stuff, but I can't because I'm not playing on a character that has the ability to do that. Which I don't even think this character's really good for using offhands. But anyway, thank you for watching if you did. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.